Today we are going to discuss the very important topics relevant to our business deployments and for your company called the migration to cloud in uncertain times. Uncertain time means like we are currently focused on the COVID-19 situation. So in today webinar, we are going to discuss about our introduction, who we are, what we provide, and how we can help you, right? About the migrations, and then last we are going get some question answer sessions. So starting from the introductions, first of all, I would like to introduce myself and about my company. My name is Mohammad Usman Khan. I am a multi-cloud trainer and consultant, and I'm the founder and CEO of the Sherdil Cloud. And we are currently provide multi-cloud deployment, manages and DevOps services, not in Pakistan but across the world, right? So let's talk about some migrations steps and what is cloud migrations. So cloud migration is actually typically refers to the moving things from on-premises to the cloud. On-premises to the cloud means you are going to move your physical servers to the virtual servers with any one of them, like AWS Cloud, Google Cloud, Azure Cloud, or Alibaba Cloud as well, right? So what's the difference between the implementation on the physical environment and why we should move towards the cloud side or the cloud implementation, right? So the biggest reason to moving on the cloud is the virtual limited compute resources. Means you don't need to buy a physical resources, you don't need to spend a capex value like the capital expenditure, right? You just need to buy the server on rental basis, hourly basis, and you don't need to spend the capital expenditure, unlike the physical environment where you just not need to buy the physical server, but you need to spend a lot of money to maintain them, to move up and running like smooth of the servers, right? And then when we talk about the performance, reliability, and resiliency, cloud is the best option and multi-cloud is also the best option. So whenever we talk about the performance, it means you can just up and running your VMs 24/7 without take any setup on the physical environment, right? Because AWS and the other cloud will take care of the physical environment while you just have to manage the rest of the environment, like the virtual servers, the environments, the virtual routers, and other items, right? Security. So there is two type of security in the cloud. One is called the security in the cloud. Second is called security of the cloud. You just need to maintain security in the cloud, where you just need to maintain the virtual firewalls and other items, right? And whenever we talk about the security of the cloud, it means we are talking about the physical environment, right? So physical environment means the physical routers, physical servers, physical infrastructure, and so on, right? So we don't need to take care about the physical environment, right? Okay, let's move on the next part, agility and flexibility. So agility and flexibility means you can configure your servers in the cloud wherever and whenever you want. Like if you want to configure your server in the US market, you can configure within 5 minutes. And after that, you want to configure for your customer in the Europe or the Australia side or the Asia side, you can configure within next 5 minutes, right? And the flexibility means scalability and the reliability. Scalability means you can configure your servers with starting from one servers to the thousands of servers. And there is two type of scalability. One is called the horizontal scalability, second is called the vertical scalability. Vertical scalability we normally use whenever we required a fixed amount of RAM and CPU, and we cannot use below the threshold, right? So in that case, we have to maintain the vertical scaling. And whenever we talk about the horizontal scaling, it means on the eventually basis, we have to increase our servers from 1 or 2 to the hundred of thousands of servers on the specific period of time. So you can do this with approximate 90% of ROI, like the price as compared with the physical environment, right? Okay, disaster recovery. Disaster recovery means you can configure your total DR site with different region and the different physical environment, right? When we talk about the AWS, you will have multiple physical data center called the availability zone, which you can configure your disaster recovery side, and you can do this via failover routing or the load balancing itself, right? Okay, how secure is our data on the cloud? Okay, whenever we talk about the security of the cloud, we normally look into the third party, like the regulations and the compliance companies, right? So whenever we talk about the compliance and the regulation, sorry, so the HIPAA compliant, PCI DSS, ISO 27001, 27003, these all are the regulated and compliant, make it secure to the specific cloud which you normally choose, right? And the second thing is, whenever we talk about the security in the cloud, you will have the facility to use their own firewalls, their own security groups, their own network ACLs, where you can secure your ports and open just only that ports which you need for your clients, right? Got it, Farhan? Okay. Okay, so pandemic dive-in distributions. So definitely the COVID-19 situations, most of the companies and most of the employees are doing work from home. So who will take care your IT infrastructure? Definitely, if you are working on the physical environment and you are working from home, how could you manage your physical environment if it goes down? If your router goes down, your physical infrastructure, definitely you have to go to the office. You need to put up and running 24/7, right? So in that case, any one of your team should be available in your office, right? But if we talk about the cloud side, nobody should be available on the data center, right? You can check and you can monitor and you can configure anywhere at any time, wherever you want, right? And whenever you want. That's the beauty of the cloud, right? So if you can see that the increase of the remote work, work from home, work from home is increased during COVID-19, starting from 10% to approximate the 75%, right? How many of you guys are working from home right now? I think most of them, the IT professionals. So if you are working in the data center, if you are working in the IT department, definitely whenever you find anything goes down in your IT environment, IT department, definitely you need to go to the office and put things up and running. Correct me if I'm wrong. But those companies who are already moving to the cloud from on premises, or that companies who already migrate before the COVID, they don't need to go to the office to check the servers should be up and running, because their companies have their own console, cloud console, where they can just monitor, they can put up and running the VMs, shut down the VMs, and all the things which we normally do in the on-premises environment. Okay, adopting the new unstable normal. So while no company could have been fully prepared for the pandemic sweeping impact, those with strong cloud-based initiative and operation already in place were better able than other quickly adopt the new business realities. So those companies who already adopt cloud technologies, who already working and who already take care of the cloud services, right, are there get more benefits than the companies who is still running their infrastructure on physical environment, right? Okay, now let's some talk about the enterprise cloud strategies. 93% companies are using multi-cloud. Why? Because if AWS goes down, definitely if you put the DR side in the Google Cloud, it will take help and it will secure your infrastructure to down 100%, right? Okay, when we talk about the single public cloud means like might be possible you are working only AWS, your infrastructure based on 100% on Google Cloud. If it goes down, if anything happens in your country and the specific cloud service provider are out of reach, who will be responsible and what you will do in that situation? Definitely you will have to configure your DR site in the multi-cloud. you can configure your main infrastructure on the AWS cloud while the DR side on the Google Cloud. Right? Same for the hybrid cloud. So out of 93% of multi-cloud, some of them, 80% of them are using the hybrid cloud. Hybrid cloud means AWS Cloud, Google Cloud, and your physical infrastructure, or AWS Cloud, Alibaba Cloud, and your physical infrastructure using hub and spoke network. That's called a hybrid cloud. It means your physical infrastructure, your front end servers are based on the AWS, while your back end servers based on the on-premise via the site-to-site VPN. And you just put some of the servers as a DR on the Google Cloud or the Alibaba Cloud. That's called a hybrid cloud. And the 6% of the companies use the multiple public clouds. It means they put it the site-to-site VPN between AWS and Google Cloud or the AWS and Alibaba Cloud, right? Which will help you to reduce your elimination of the downtime, right? So we normally provide the site-to-site VPN services between or the among the clouds, right? Okay, organizational spend on the public cloud. So in the next 12 months, the current spend is approximate 53%, while the growth in the next 12 months is 47%. Right? Okay, top cloud initiative for 2020. Optimize existing use of cloud, cost saving. This is a very important, because either if you are moved on the cloud or if you have a plan to move the cloud, if you don't do anything relevant to the cost saving, definitely your cost will be increased 2x, 3x, or sometime 4x, right? It means if you are currently spending the $1,000 or the $2,000 on the physical infrastructure and you migrate all the infrastructure on the cloud, you might be possible that your monthly cost will increase to $4,000 to $5,000. Why? Because you are using more than your actual requirement. So in that case, definitely you cannot save your cost. So instead of using your secure your infrastructure, you must know how to reduce your cost. That's called a cost optimization. Right? Okay, so top trend of the pandemic while using on the cloud from the COVID-19 situation is video conferencing. Zoom is totally move on the AWS cloud. Increase online media consumption. Netflix is using the Google Cloud, right? E-commerce. Now you can see everyone is trying to selling something on the using their website. So where the website is actually hosted is on the multi-cloud, like Alibaba Cloud, the AWS Cloud. 10 to 15 of customers migrate their e-commerce site on our cloud, our AWS, like on the Sherdil Cloud, because we provide the hosted solution as well, right? So one thing is common, that they deployed and running in the cloud, which let them create the increase in demand, right? Because they can shut down their services whenever and wherever they want to reduce the money. Okay, so cloud market leader are Amazon Web Services, Microsoft Azure, Google Cloud, and the Alibaba Cloud. These are these four are actually the market giants, and the rest of the approximate 6%, which is called the Tencent Cloud, Huawei Cloud, Oracle Cloud, IBM Cloud, and many more others. Right? So let's talk about some market share of the cloud. So AWS have approximate 33% market share. Azure has approximate 80, which is currently increasing, right? Google Cloud has 9%, Alibaba Cloud is 6.6, IBM is 1.8, and the other cloud is 31%. Other cloud means Tencent Cloud, IBM Oracle Cloud, Huawei Cloud, and others, right? Let's talk about the migrating strategies. So we have different migrating strategies to migrate your infrastructure from your on-premises to the cloud. One is called the lift and shift method, where you need to create your infrastructure on the cloud first, and then at last you need to move your data from on-premises to the cloud. Second is called the move and improve, where you need to configure your VPN. Once you configure your VPN, you need to configure your agentless service in order to migrate your infrastructure from the hypervisor like Hyper-V or the VMware or the Zen server to the couple of clouds like AWS, Google, and Azure Cloud. And third is rip and replace, like completely replacement. Once you configure your infrastructure on the AWS or the Google Cloud, you just need to eliminate the physical infrastructure. Let's talk about the AWS migration. If you have a plan to move on the AWS migration side, you can use the AWS server migration service. What does it mean? Is actually the one of the service which allow and help you to seamlessly migrate your infrastructure from your on-premises hypervisors like VMware or the Hyper-V to the AWS cloud using agentless solution. Same as for the Azure migration, right? And Google migration service. Almost all of them are same with different services like these proprietary services, right? So, at last, how Sherdil Cloud can help you. If you have a plan to move your infrastructure from your on-premises to any one of the cloud, so we can provide you 40 hours free consultation. Like we will calculate your whole infrastructure, how much amount it will spend once you migrate your selected cloud, right? We will provide multi-cloud comparison sheet. Like if you give us your Excel sheet among multiple hardware specs, we will just compare with AWS, Google, Azure, and Alibaba Cloud, and you can just find the best cloud for your infrastructure. We have 24/7 technical support team, right? And at last, once we migrate all of the infrastructure, we can provide you the quality multi-cloud training for your team, which include the AWS Cloud, Google, Azure, Alibaba, network deployment, network deep dive, and the cloud coding and DevOps trainings. Please feel free to ask me if you have any queries relevant. So let's move about the question answer sessions. Thank you. Is reliable and cost effective. So if you guys can open the mic, I will be happy to assist you. Okay. So depend on the reliable and cost effective, depend which service you are trying to use, right? If for example, if you want to use the virtual machine service, so among all of them, Google Cloud is much cheaper than others because it will give you 30% discount at the end of the month, right?
हेलो
Hello, may I know your name, please? Walaikum salam.
आमिर बात कर रहा हूँ।
Yes, Amir.
मेरा एक सवाल का है या एक रिकमेंडेशन का है इसमें। अभी जो आप जो वेबिनार कर रहे थे इसमें जो आपने स्ट्रेटेजीज बनाई हैं बताई हैं क्लाउड की माइग्रेशन की,
हाँ,
इसमें